The New Age Gospel according to John, chapter 7. When we were in chapter 6 together, Jesus lost many of his disciples. Jesus had told us that 6 is man's number. No, the entire Bible was not originally written with the chapter and verse numbers within them, but the book of John is clearly written in story form, divided into very obvious segments, which is how the chapters were so named. Interestingly, in chapter 6, something very negative happened after something very positive. Jesus lost a large number of followers. His 12 disciples, however, remained. Just as there were 12 baskets of food left over, there were 12 disciples left over, you could say. Jesus still had 12. Jesus still had time. So what time is it? Is it time to make Jesus king? No. Is it time to crucify him? Not yet. After this, Jesus went about in Galilee. He did not wish to go about in Judea because the Jews were looking for an opportunity to kill him. Now the Jewish festival of booths was near. Now we realize that this is in the fall, in the autumn, somewhere between Virgo and Libra. I'm going to say perhaps the beginning of Libra. The Feast of Tabernacles, the 7th Jewish feast of Sukkot, when the people put up little tabernacles and live in them, kind of almost like a camping experience. And of course, it should remind us of the tabernacle, when God tabernacles with his people. Chapter 7, 7th Festival. People are fickle. So his brothers said to him, "Leave here and go to Judea, so that your disciples may also see the works that you are doing. For no one who wants to be widely known acts in secret. If you do these things, show yourself to the world." For not even his brothers believed in him. Jesus said to them, "My time has not yet come, but your time is always here." Referring to, of course, the vernal equinox, when he would be crucified, buried, and rise again, just as the sun resurrects every year in the spring. And just as Libra is the exact opposite of Aries, the autumnal equinox is the exact opposite of the vernal equinox. No, this was not the time to kill Jesus. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me, because I testify against it that its works are evil. Go to the festival yourselves. I am not going to this festival, for my time has not yet fully come. After saying this, he remained in Galilee. This would be an example of a modern-day booth called a sukkah, or a tabernacle from the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot. But after his brothers had gone to the festival, then he also went, not publicly as it were, but in secret. I have often heard pastors chuckle at this and say, looks like Jesus told a little fib, because they didn't understand the greater symbolism of what was going on here, hidden in plain sight. Jesus was essentially saying, I am that presence of God that dwells in the tabernacle, that dwells behind the veil in the Holy of Holies. It's I who has been with you, you could say almost in secret, all along. It was I, Jesus. The Jews were looking for him. This also tells you it's autumn, when the sun starts to disappear into the winter sky, looking for the light of the world. It also tells you a darkness is starting to take over Jesus' ministry. They were looking for him from side to side as one looks for the sun at the festival and saying, "Where is he?" And there was considerable complaining about him among the crowds. While some were saying, "He is a good man," others were saying, "No, he is deceiving the crowd." Yet no one would openly speak about him for fear of the Jews, just as one often feels fear in the dark. About the middle of the festival, Jesus went up into the temple and began to teach. The Jews were astonished at it, saying, "How does this man have such learning when he has never been taught?" Then Jesus answered them, "My teaching is not mine, but his who sent me. Anyone who resolves to do the will of God will know whether the teaching is from God or whether I am speaking on my own. Those who speak on their own seek their own glory, but the one who seeks the glory of him who sent him is true, and there is nothing false in him." Did not Moses give you the law? Yet none of you keeps the law. Why are you looking for an opportunity to kill me? The crowd answered, "You have a demon. Who is trying to kill you?" Lots of judgment going on here. Jesus answered them, I performed one work, and all of you are astonished. Moses gave you circumcision. It is, of course, not from Moses, but from the patriarchs, and you circumcise a man on the Sabbath. If a man receives circumcision on the Sabbath in order that the law of Moses may not be broken, you are angry with me because I healed a man's whole body on the Sabbath? Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. Clearly, he is holding up the balance of Libra. Now some of the people of Jerusalem were saying, "Is not this the man whom they are trying to kill? And here he is, speaking openly, but they say nothing to him. Can it be that the authorities really know that this is the Messiah? Yet we know where this man is from, but when the Messiah comes, no one will know where he is from." Then Jesus cried out as he was teaching in the temple, "You know me, and you know where I am from. I have not come on my own, but the one who sent me is true. and you do not know him. I know him because I am from him, and he sent me." Then they tried to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him because his hour had not yet come. The vernal equinox. Yet many in the crowd believed in him and were saying, "When the Messiah comes, will he do more signs than this man has done?" The Pharisees heard about the crowd muttering such things about him, and the chief priests and the Pharisees sent temple police to arrest him. Jesus then said, "Just as the sun goes down at night, just as the sun disappears in the winter, or is certainly less strong, I will be with you a little while longer, and then I am going to him who sent me. You will search for me, but you will not find me, and where I am, you cannot come." The Jews said to one another, "Where does this man intend to go, that we will not find him? Does he intend to go to the dispersion among the Greeks and teach the Greeks? What does he mean by saying, 'You will search for me, and you will not find me,' and 'where I am, you cannot come'?" Yes, it is autumn, when the leaves turn red, the sun starts to set, the sky turns red, and we're entering a phase of darkness, when the light of the world slowly ebbs away. On the last day of the festival, the great day, while Jesus was standing there, he cried out, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me, and let the one who believes in me drink. As the scripture has said, out of the believer's heart shall flow rivers of living water." Now he said this about the Spirit, which believers in him were to receive, for as yet there was no Spirit, because Jesus was not yet glorified. When the crowd heard these words, some in the crowd said, "This is really the prophet." Others said, "This is the Messiah." But some asked, "Surely the Messiah does not come from Galilee, does he? Has not the scripture said that the Messiah is descended from David and comes from Bethlehem, the village where David lived?" So there was division in the crowd because of him. Some of them wanted to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him. Then the temple police went back to the chief priests and the Pharisees, who asked them, "Why did you not arrest him?" The police answered, "Never has anyone spoken like this." Then the Pharisees replied, "Surely you have not been deceived too, have you? Has any one of the authorities or of the Pharisees believed in him?" But this crowd, which does not know the law, they are accursed. When actually it was this crowd who knew the signs of the times, or believing in him. Who Nicodemus, who had gone to Jesus before, and who was one of them, asked, "Our law," remember this is Libra, does not judge people without first giving them a hearing to find out what they are doing. Does it? They dodged the question. They replied, "Surely you are not also from Galilee, are you? Search, and you will see that no prophet is to arise from Galilee." Then each of them went home. Be blessed. And please return for Chapter 8.